Oh, looks like I hadn't pressed the go live button yet. Hopefully you guys could hear me. I don't know if you could hear me for the past 2 minutes, but I guess I didn't press the go live button. So here we are, we're live now. Today is the 8th of February, 2025, and Boom Lee is wondering if we're going to start our 2025 bull run sometime in February. And my answer to that is yeah, I think we will start the 2025 bull market in February. So I think we're bottoming out right now as we speak. And we'll look at that in just a second. But yeah, that's definitely something I think is happening right now is that we're bottoming out in crypto. So let's pull up Bitcoin here. Tech dude, what's up, my friend? This market has shaken out all of the weak hands. They can buy more bags later. It's go time. Yeah, I agree 100%. It is go time, and everybody's shaken out of the market. A lot of the noobs are getting shaken out of the market right now as we speak. So it is go time for crypto. And it has to happen every time, every cycle. You have to shake out weak hands. You have to freak people out before it takes off. And I think that's what we're doing right now with Bitcoin. I mean, we pulled back from 109K all the way down to 91 here. And a lot of people got shaken out, not to mention all of the people that got shook out on coins like Dogecoin, for example. Dogecoin is a great example of people getting shaken out of the market. Look at this thing. People are definitely panic selling their Dogecoin here on major support. As we come down to this major horizontal support level, people are panic selling their Dogecoin and right onto major support. And what's the very first rule of technical analysis? Don't sell support or buy resistance, right? Yet you have a whole bunch of people right now. Resistance. There we go. Don't buy support or sell resistance. Don't sell support or buy resistance. We've got a lot of people right now that are selling support and they bought resistance up here. They bought the resistance levels and now they're selling support. Don't do that. Okay? And if you did buy the resistance up here, definitely don't screw up and sell the support down here. You want to buy major support levels. So, yeah, a lot of people are getting shaken out of the market right now. And to be honest with you, it's not even valid. Like, it's pure emotion. People are not being rational. You guys, you have to understand human psychology. All right? When people freak out and everybody's scared and they're all panic selling, you have to understand that most of the time, people are being irrational. They're not being logical. They feel like they're being logical. They feel like they're making the right choice, by selling. But 99% of the time, people are being irrational when they panic sell. People don't panic sell at tops. They panic sell at bottoms. Like, that's all you have to realize. They panic sell down here, like in 2022, when Dogecoin was worth 6 cents. And we were posting in the VIP area saying, hey, you guys, buy Dogecoin here. Do you realize what it's about to do? Buy Dogecoin down here at 6 cents. Most people were panic selling at 6 cents. Right? People panic sell when it's time to buy. I know it sounds like so simple and like a sixth grader piece of information, but somehow everybody always forgets that right when it's the most important time to remember, you know. And right now, if you look at Bitcoin right here, during the recovery of its market cycle here, after its ABC correction, look what Bitcoin did. After Bitcoin broke above wave B right here, it had to pull back all the way back down to major support before it could break out through resistance again. And if you look at Dogecoin right now, and what happened on Dogecoin, look, it broke above wave B here, just like Bitcoin did. It hit major resistance, just like Bitcoin did, and it pulled back down to major support, just like Bitcoin did. Just exactly like how Bitcoin did, right here. And that, to me, is clear evidence that people that are panic selling their crypto right now are dumb. You should be buying your crypto, not selling in times like these. You know, don't panic sell because we land on major support. Okay? Like, that's where big whales are buying. That's where the big players buy. They buy support. They don't sell major support. They buy major support. So what I think's happening here with Dogecoin is really the exact same reversal in the big picture that happened to Bitcoin back in 2016. So this pullback here was absolutely the most unsurprising thing in the entire world. Everybody else is freaking out about black swans. Everybody's panic selling their crypto. Everybody's like, oh no, tariffs and the world is going to end. And what if we go into World War III? And oh my goodness, it's time to sell all my crypto, blah, blah, blah. I'm dumb. That's what you guys sound like. I'm serious. That's what you guys sound like right now. If you're panic selling your crypto, that's what you sound like. Okay? This pullback right here, this was my alternative for Dogecoin. My alternative was that we test 22 cents right here on an ABC correction back down to major support. And I've been looking at this scenario, by the way, as a potential outcome for Dogecoin since 48 cents. When we broke out bullish right here on Dogecoin up to 48 cents, the very first thing that popped up in my mind when this happened was the Bitcoin fractal. The first thing when we broke out on Dogecoin here up towards 48 cents, the first thing that came into my mind, in my mind's eye, that I saw when we hit this level was the Bitcoin fractal. And the very first thing that I did was look at an alternative count of Dogecoin testing 22 cents. Because of this fractal, when everybody else was buying Dogecoin at 48 cents, I was looking at this as an opportunity to be taking profits at 48 cents. And the market pulled back down here, and then it bounced up again, and I thought maybe it would break out, but we didn't, and we went for the alternative count and pulled back down to 20 cents. So even though we didn't play every move throughout this correction here perfectly, when we pulled back down to 22 cents, I didn't feel any emotion. There wasn't any moment in which I was like, oh no, time to sell my crypto. Like, I didn't feel any emotion. because we were looking at the opportunity or the potential for Dogecoin to test 22 cents months ago, like a month ago, like 4 weeks ago, before this even happened. You know? So even though we didn't perfectly play this correction right here, if you have awareness of that potential of it doing a correction, you don't freak out when it happens. That's one of the biggest problems most people have. They freak out when a correction happens because they don't plan for it. They don't have it as an alternative, you know? So yeah, when we rejected 41 cents right here and pulled back down to 20 cents, I got excited. You can ask my one-on-one members. You know, I was doing one-on-one coaching calls. I was waking up in the morning invigorated and excited to jump out of bed when the markets dropped, because this is an alternative that I had been looking at since 48 cents. So no, it's not going to scare me. It's going to get me excited, because I know that crypto's about to go nuts, and that people panic selling right now are literally getting tricked by the big whales. So yeah, of course it gets me excited, because I know that 90% of people are making the wrong choice and panic selling their crypto. And when that happens, the opportunity to make a lot of money is very high. It's just like at the top of the market, when everybody's buying, you can sell. When 90% when everybody's excited about crypto and everybody's buying at the top, you should be getting excited and selling, because you can see beyond the trick. You can see what the whales are doing. And so you're selling into the euphoria up here. Even though 90% of people are buying, you're selling. So anytime where you see the majority of people irrationally making a choice, you should get excited, because you can make money on that. Whether you're selling or whether you're buying the dip, you can make money on other people's irrational behavior. And I'm here to tell you that people are being irrational right now. That's what they are. So you can profit on that. You can buy the dip right here, you know, buy everybody else's fear and get rich on crypto, and go buy, you know, whatever you want later if you buy Dogecoin now. I'm losing faith on Theta, been down for 4 years. Well, I don't know if you've ever heard of crypto cycles, but crypto cycles are about 4 years long. And I don't personally buy into the 4-year cycle theory, in the sense that crypto is just going to do 4-year cycles like this forever. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So people that think it's just going to do 4-year cycles forever are completely delusional. But historically, crypto does tend toward a 4-year cycle. So if you feel like you're giving up on Theta because it hasn't done anything for like multiple years, well, guess what? Every crypto cycle is the exact same story over and over again. It's not like some new thing is happening every cycle. No, it's the whales tricking everybody in the exact same way as the last cycle, over and over again. That's what's really happening. Look at how long Bitcoin went down. Bitcoin started its bear market in 2013. It was bearish for an entire year here, or 2014. It's really started it mainly in 2014. Bearish for a whole year. Then it went sideways and down. On Bitfinex, it made a new low right here for another year. Then it finally started to recover. So with crypto cycles, you got to give that thing time. Warren Buffett said that the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. And the crypto markets are the same thing. The crypto markets are a vehicle. I don't know if I said opportunity. I meant to say vehicle. The crypto markets, just like the stock market, are a vehicle for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. So if you're wondering, why hasn't my Theta taken off yet? Go study other crypto cycles. Crypto has a tendency to expand very drastically, have a massive retracement where it falls 99% or 95 or 85, like 80 to 90% drop, and then it goes sideways for a year. Altcoins have a tendency to go sideways even longer and have an even longer bear market for like 2 years or longer. And then it starts a bull market. That's really what crypto historically has done over and over again. And so if you're giving up on Theta, you can sell if you want to, it's your money. But I'm here to tell you that really, according to the cycle, we're really at that point where most people are giving up, most people are panic selling, the FUD is high, but it's about to turn around and moon, It's about to break out right here soon and take off. And even Ethereum's an even better example of the ABC correction here and what it looks like when the market's down and sideways like this. Because Ethereum is even more, it's an altcoin, so it behaves more like how Theta does. And if you look here at Ethereum on the left in the last cycle and Theta on the right today, it's the exact same structure, okay? This right here, this final capitulation, lines up perfectly with this final capitulation on Ethereum. And there is always a final sell-off before the market takes off. There's always a final capitulation in every cycle. It doesn't matter what cycle you're looking at. You're going to get that final capitulation where it's been so long going sideways, so long going down, and then there's one final sell-off, and everybody just finally gives up. They can't handle it any longer. And that's called capitulation. And that final capitulation always happens right before you just go straight vertical and break out to a new all-time high. So I really believe what's coming for Theta is a big breakout because the crypto cycles just repeat over and over again every 4 years pretty much. Even though I don't think it's going to do that forever, I think it will grow and grow and grow, and the cycle will widen and get longer. We can see evidence of that already. But still, crypto moves in cycles. And whether those cycles are getting longer or whether they stay roughly about 4 years long, it doesn't really matter. If you can identify the cycle in the big picture, like Theta right now, where you can just identify this cycle really easily, it doesn't matter if the cycle took 8 years or 4 years or 24 years to form. If you can buy the dip and hold on through the big expansion that comes afterwards, who cares how big it is? But crypto does move in cycles. And buying the bottom of those cycles is super easy and super simple. But also, because everybody's looking at the wrong thing, like the news, or fundamentals or whatever, nobody gets it right because they're looking in all the wrong places. But if they'd ask the right questions and look in the right places, then they would get the right answers and they'd make money. So yeah, I do think Theta will break out here in the big picture and will completely moon. And I firmly believe that. So hopefully that gives some insight for you. The Trump family has loaded up on Ethereum. Now they can write up crypto regulations in their favor. Honestly, I hope they do. We do need positive regulation for crypto. We do want to see less regulation, honestly. Most new technologies, you should have less regulatory oversight rather than more regulatory oversight. One of the reasons that the internet has done so good up until this point was because the internet's kind of like the wild, wild west. And although there's been attempts to regulate it and control it, it's still kind of not really that controlled and regulated. And because of that, the internet is like this endless booming economy where people are getting rich all the time. Why? Because there's not people trying to control it. You know, if we would do this with our government, the world would be a much better place. But instead, we try to grow the government, we try to increase regulation, we try to make it a bigger part of everybody's lives, when in reality, it should serve very specific purposes and be very focused on doing what it does best and not become some giant entity of itself, you know. So the same thing happens with new industries. If they're over-regulated and over-controlled, it negatively impacts their growth and their ability to expand. Because really, when there's a new industry, you need people to be able to play around. You need people, it needs to be like the wild, wild west. You need people to be able to play around and experiment and make mistakes and all of that. And that's hard to do when stuff is over-regulated and controlled, you know. So I do believe in less regulation for crypto. I believe it shouldn't be taxed. It's a currency. Taxing crypto is, to me, it's as bad as income tax, which I believe is unconstitutional. They changed it later, but originally income tax, levying wages and pulling people's money from pulling taxes from their account before they willingly choose to pay it of their own free will and accord, is originally unconstitutional, but that changed later. So personally, I believe that taxing a currency is kind of like income tax, and I don't believe that that's right. I don't think people should. I think taxes should be paid. I believe in taxes, and I do believe in government, and I do believe in having a police force and all of those things, but it has to be specific, and it has to be focused, and it has to do what it does best, you know? And I don't believe that taxes should be forced upon people in the sense that it's taken out of their income before they even have of their own accord or their own free will paying it. We should pay taxes because we love our country and we support our country, you know. So I don't think I don't believe crypto should be taxed, and I don't believe in income tax. It is constitutional now because they amended the Constitution, or they changed it, I mean. They altered it a little bit. But yeah, so that's what I believe, you know. New industry should have less regulation rather than more. And honestly, the same is kind of true for governments. Governments should be very focused and specific and not become so big that they control every aspect of people's lives. That just doesn't make any sense. So, never forget to play our bullish guitar music. Yeah, when we get towards the end of the stream, if you guys want me to play on my guitar and sing some songs, I will. Did you steal a widow's funeral hat, bro? No, I did not steal a widow's funeral hat. It's called a fedora. It's what cool people wear, okay? If you don't know about them, it might speak towards you needing to become cool. You know, you might not be cool yet, so you should probably work on that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure you're cool. But some says XRP is nearing to top out. What do you think? You know, I honestly believe that XRP is far, far, far from the top. And people that are trying to call tops on crypto right now should go should go pick a new industry to be in, you know, because they're really, really out of touch with reality. Because crypto is going to go nuts. And people that are trying to fight that, people that are trying to call the top on crypto already, you know, they literally are completely out of touch with reality as to what's about to happen with this industry over the next, you know, who knows exactly how many years, but we are getting ready for another bullish cycle. And that bullish cycle will be a lot like 2021 or 2017, probably even more like 2017 than 2021, which was super bullish. And the markets will completely blow people away. So people that are, you know, freaking out right now or buying into the FUD in the sense that they're believing the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, those people are out of touch with reality. It's just that simple. Because what we see in the markets right now is FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's not based on any real valid reason to sell their crypto. It's just the emotion of being scared of losing money, you know. And what does that tell you? You should buy, if anything. That's what it tells you. I'm not cool enough for that kind of class, bro. I'm sure you are, Fanta. Fanta is a great drink, by the way. It's like one of my favorite sodas. So you're definitely cool enough, man. You could come hang out with me if you want to. Any day, you're welcome to. T-Fuel will fly. We'll do 5x what Theta does to get 5-to-1 ratio. T-Fuel to $3 this time, easy. So kind of the same argument that people use for why they would buy like a grayscale, you know, like GBTC, grayscale Bitcoin trust, versus investing in actual Bitcoin, you know, like somebody might buy grayscale versus investing in actual Bitcoin. And you can see that grayscale did 6,700% right here from the bottom up to the top. And let's look at Bitcoin and see what kind of a percentage growth it did from the bottom right here to the top. 10,000. It's not GBTC, my bad. What is the... it's a BCH Trust. What company is accumulating Bitcoin Cash? And it is Grayscale. Huh. Let's see here. BCH Trust. Hold on just a second, you guys. BCH Grayscale ticker. BCH Grayscale Bitcoin Cash Trust. BCHG. Okay, let's try this. BCHG. Okay, here we go. All right. So you can see the Bitcoin Grayscale Trust right here. BCH, Bitcoin Cash Grayscale Trust. Then let's pull up the normal Bitcoin Cash right here. And there's a reason I'm showing you this. So some people invest in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust instead of actual BCH. Because if you measure from the bottom to the top here, you can see almost a 10,000% gain, right? On the Grayscale Bitcoin Cash Trust stock. And if you look at Bitcoin Cash, you only see like a 700% gain right here. So even though, you know, the Bitcoin Cash Trust is following Bitcoin Cash because it's connected to Bitcoin Cash, the Bitcoin Cash Trust stock, the grayscale stock, is more volatile and is giving you a bigger percentage gain. Obviously, it's dropping harder too when it drops, but when it pumps, it's going for a much bigger percentage gain than if you were, to only buy Bitcoin Cash. So some people do the same thing with T fuel and T drop. They say, you know what, Theta's moving, but T drop moves like another 100% for every time that Theta moves 200%. So T drop is moving so much more, or T fuel is moving so much more. So they put a bigger investment in those coins because they're going to get a bigger return. But you also have to make sure you take profits, because just like how the Grayscale Trust drops harder and rises harder, it's also true for, T fuel or T drop. They're going to drop harder and rise harder. So they're more volatile and you will make more money, but you have to make sure you take profits because they'll drop harder too. So that's kind of something to be aware of. Some people are buying the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, the BCH, the Bitcoin Cash Trust stock, instead of Bitcoin Cash because they're making like 10 times more, And the same is true for like T Fuel. People are doing the same thing. That doesn't mean you shouldn't invest in Theta, but it does mean that market capitalization, when something has a smaller market cap, it's easier for it to move a bigger percentage gain. So low caps are sometimes good to target if you don't have as big of a portfolio, because even though it's a little bit riskier, you can make more money too. So, Iron Mike, what's up, my friend? Good to see you tuning in. Do you believe there's a lot of manipulation by big players? Yeah, there's always manipulation in every market. Gold, silver, every market since the beginning of time, there's been manipulation, absolutely. But the bigger thing that happens is that people blame manipulation for their own stupid investing decisions. That's the more like popular, common thing to happen. I mean, yes, manipulation is real, but don't focus on it. Focus on yourself and what you're doing right or wrong, because the problem with focusing on manipulation is you start to blame manipulation, or you're panic selling because you're like, oh, this market is just completely controlled by other people. The price, they just choose whatever price they want to put it at. That's not true. It's a global industry, and globally there's volume coming from all over the world. So it's impossible for one select group of people to have absolute control over the price of Bitcoin. So no, there's not some absolute manipulation or anything like that. Manipulation does happen in the markets, but the bigger thing you should be focused on is your own self and whether you're making good investment decisions, because even if the market is manipulated, it still follows rules of technical analysis, and you can still make money if you yourself are following those rules. And it really doesn't matter if the market is manipulated or not, to be honest with you. But yeah, every market since the beginning of time, there's manipulation on some degree, usually inside of markets. But if you look right here, look at this. Let's look at the market cycle chart here. Where is it? So yeah, here we go. So the start of a market cycle, you have disbelief, where people really don't believe the market's going to take off. Then you go into hope and optimism and belief and thrill and euphoria. Then you get into complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation. And right here, people start blaming the government. Who shorted the market? Why did the government allow this to happen? Right? They're blaming manipulation. They're blaming the government instead of blaming the fact that they were freaking out, euphoric and bragging to all of their friends and doubling down and taking loans out and being stupid and irrational at the top of the market and doubling down on all of their investments. No, that's not, it can't be their fault. No, no way is it my fault that I lost all my money. No, it's got to be somebody else's. It's got to be those damn manipulators, you know? So they get that idea in their mind. And to be honest with you, it's not true. There is manipulation in markets, but don't blame manipulation. Don't blame other people. Blame yourself. If you're too euphoric at the top of the market and you didn't take profits, that's your fault. Nobody else's. Even if there was manipulation, you're the one that didn't take profits when you were up 50 times on your trades, you know, or 10 times or whatever. So blame yourself. Way more effective strategy for growth and for becoming a better trader than blaming the government or manipulation, which is a really common thing that people do. So, okay, let's see here. Good morning. What's up, Stoic Pioneer? Good to see you. Some says XRP is near cycle top according to Pi Cycle Indicator. What's your thoughts on this? Okay, I don't know anything about the Pi Cycle Indicator at all, but I do know a lot about other stuff. And I'll tell you right now that the market top is not in. I really firmly believe it's not. So, you know, that's based on my analysis. Everybody has their own opinion and strategies and ways that they look at the market. But I personally firmly believe it's not, the top is not in. Pi cycle top, let's look and see what it says about XRP, this indicator. It doesn't even show. I don't know who's telling you that this is showing a top, but when I use the Pi cycle indicator on TradingView, it's not even giving me a top signal. So I don't know who's telling you that it is, but it's not. And maybe this is a different indicator than the guy that you're talking about, but it's not even giving me a top signal right now. When it comes to XRP, here's what you got to understand, all right? XRP did an expanded flat correction. If you don't know what an expanded flat correction is, it's time to learn. Expanded flat is what the big institutions and whales have been doing, especially since 2020. Since big institutions have been getting into crypto, they've been using this expanded flat pattern to screw everybody in the markets over and over again. So today is the day that you learn this, okay? This is an expanded flat correction. An expanded flat is when wave B goes above the top of wave 0. So in a standard ABC correction, wave 0, or wave 5, I mean not wave 0. Wave 5 is the very top of the whole bull market, and then you get a big correction, right? Wave A, wave B, and wave C, and wave B does not break above the top of wave 5, and that's what a normal Elliott wave impulse looks like. An expanded flat correction is where wave B actually goes up above the top of wave 5. So what happens is the market looks like it's just going to completely moon in wave B, and then it panic sells all the way below wave A to a new local low right here, and everybody sells. Everybody freaks out and sells right here in wave C. And they have been doing this over and over again since 2020, since big institutions. Now, I'm not blaming manipulation. I've just noticed a change in the market since big institutions have came into the market, where we see more expanded flats, which screw more everyday retail investors. You can call it manipulation if you want to, or you could learn about this pattern and actually make a bunch of money, even though everybody else is getting screwed. You know, but look at this. That's exactly what XRP just did. Wave A, wave B, and wave C. Expanded flat correction. Now, if we look over here, I can show you examples of this over and over again on crypto. A really good example of this is Bitcoin, by the way, back in 2021. So we have Bitcoin over here on the right, and we have XRP over here on the left. And this right here, this expanded flat correction is the same thing, okay? So you have wave A, wave B, and wave C. It's an expanded flat correction. That's what it is. And, you know, everybody bought Bitcoin right here at 70K because it looked like it was breaking out through resistance, right? It looked like it was going to go to a new all-time high. And then everybody sold Bitcoin right here at 16K because it broke support of wave A and looked like it was just going to drop off the face of the earth and go to zero. So the expanded flat correction creates that effect of, oh, we're going to break out. Oh no, we're going to drop down to zero. So people panic buy the top, they FOMO buy the top, then they panic sell the bottom because they're scared that it's going to go to zero. So it creates this expanded structure. Now, in the case of XRP, this is wave 4 for XRP. So you're not going to retrace all the way back down to the 786 level here. We're probably going to bottom out right here at $1.79. I personally doubt that we drop down again. I think we're going to bottom out here as a result of this expanded flat correction back down onto the 50% Fibbo. But another example of this expanded flat correction, and I was the only person on all of crypto Twitter, and I'm not saying that to toot my own horn, I'm just telling you guys that these expanded flat corrections are extremely powerful to understand, okay? But on Twitter, right here, with Flocky, when everybody was buying Flocky, right here, I was posting charts on my Twitter warning every single person I possibly could. And by the way, nobody liked my post. It only got like 6 likes as opposed to my bullish post that got like 1 million likes. I was posting about Flocky being bearish right here because I'd learned about this expanded flat and I had gotten screwed because of this expanded flat in the past. And I knew that everybody was buying Flocky, expecting this huge breakout on Flocky, when really it did this expanded flat correction. And you can see that it actually didn't break out. It looked like it was going to break out, but it didn't break out of resistance. And it actually felled support and went for a new local low. So that's an expanded flat. So you have to learn how to identify these expanded flats. And you're not going to catch them every time, but if you have the alternative of that happening, when the market does pull back, you don't freak out. You don't get scared. You don't sell your crypto. And for me, that's exactly why I did not get scared when XRP pulled back, for example, because I was looking at an alternative of an expanded flat because of the bearish divergence on the daily that I was looking at when XRP was up here. No, I didn't sell. I was still bullish, but I was looking at the alternative of a pullback here because of the bearish divergence on the daily, and I was looking at this right here before we sold off, even though I didn't sell because it was my alternative. I was looking at this as an option, as a potential possibility, even up here at $3.15 per XRP. Because of the bearish divergence, and because I know about this expanded flat correction, and I know a lot of people get screwed buying wave B before wave C happens, and then when wave C happens, they panic sell because they're not prepared for it. But if you have it as an alternative count, you don't panic sell wave C because you know how quickly it's going to get bought back up. I mean, look how fast XRP went from $1.76 right back up to $2.81 right there. So the people that got scared and freaked out and sold their crypto right here in wave C instantly regretted it. Like within minutes, they regretted doing that. But if you would have been aware of this as an alternative count, you would have been buying, which is exactly what I did. I put every US dollar tether that I own into crypto in this dip because I was expecting this as an alternative. It wasn't my primary, and no, I didn't perfectly sell. I sold the Saturday before and then bought the dip again on Monday more. But no, I didn't sell all of my crypto perfectly at the top or anything. But I was aware of it as an alternative. I had cash ready and I bought the dip. So that's how you play these markets. You're not going to be right every time, but if you have awareness of different scenarios and you can plan for them, it's kind of like a game of chess, you know, to where, oh, if this happens, I'm going to do this and I'll win. Or if this happens, I'm going to do this and I'll win. So you set yourself up for success no matter what your opponent does, because you don't know exactly what your opponent is going to do. And the same is true for markets. You have a pretty good idea, and sometimes you're exactly right and perfectly call the market, but sometimes you're wrong and you don't know what your opponent is going to do. So what do you have to do? You have to have plans. You have to have awareness of different things that can happen that still follow the rules of technical analysis, so that no matter what the market does, you can make the right choice with your money and still come out on top and still come out profitable. And that's what the best technical analysts do. They're not right every time, but they end up being right, and they end up making the right choice with their money because they have different plans for different scenarios, and they play the market accordingly. Emotions running high. Yeah, I agree. I mean, man, emotions are very high with crypto. People are panic selling. They're being irrational. They're not thinking clearly. I wish they weren't, but yeah, the emotions are very, very high. Took 50% out when my portfolio doubled, watching the house money now, and the drama that follows. I'm holding till 2030, in it for the long haul. Yeah, and Professor K, if there was ever a time, if you took 50% out near the top, if there was ever a time to put money back in, it's today. Not tomorrow, not next week, it's today. So that, just definitely consider buying more crypto. Stuff like Dogecoin, you can get rich buying Dogecoin right now. So, all right, cool. So yeah, we talked a little bit about XRP, a little bit about Bitcoin. There hasn't been as many viewers today on the stream, but that usually happens in the bottoms. You should have seen, the engagement on my videos right here when I was screaming how bullish the markets were. The engagement in my videos and my live streams went so low right here. I was getting like 400 views per live stream or something. And when the markets are going up and everybody's excited, like right here, I'll get like 1,000 views on my live streams. So it's just funny how that happens. When you can always see the sentiment of the market based on how excited people are. Or if like you go to talk to somebody about their crypto and they're like all like down and they can't hide it. And you're like, come on, bro, buy the dip. Stop freaking out right now, okay? So yeah, it's funny how that works. Bought gold and silver with it. Need to wait for new money. Yeah, silver and gold are great investments. I mean, especially silver. Silver is a really good. I like gold too, don't get me wrong, but silver is like how I was talking about how people buy altcoins instead of Bitcoin because they're going to get a better percentage gain, or how people buy the grayscale Bitcoin Cash stock rather than real Bitcoin Cash because it moves more percentage gain. Silver is like that for gold. Gold always looks like it's going to do a bigger, better percentage gain, but then when silver actually starts pumping, silver does way, way bigger of a percentage gain than gold does. And so you just have to be aware of that because you're going to make a lot of money trading silver. versus gold, you're going to make more money on silver than you will with gold. And if you look here with silver, silver's in a huge cup and handle pattern on this bigger time frame here. This has been accumulating since 1970. Okay? 1970. Since the 70s, we've been making a massive cup and handle on silver. So you can imagine how bullish this is going to be when it breaks out, bullish of this cup and handle pattern, just how high silver is going to go. Silver is going to blow people away. This is one of the most undervalued commodities in the world right now. And no, it's not going to give you 45 times your money like Dogecoin will. You know, Dogecoin could give you like 30x or 25x. And, you know, some of the low caps could give you like 50 times or 100 times your money if you buy the right low cap with crypto. Silver's not going to do that, but it is going to give you a much bigger percentage gain than gold will, and it will go nuts, and you will make a lot of money, and it is one of the most undervalued commodities in the entire world, if not the most undervalued commodity in the world right now. So maybe uranium. Uranium, I guess, could be a close second for being undervalued. Look at this cup and handle on Bitcoin right here. Look at that. And then look at this cup and handle on silver. So you can see just how excited I am about silver and the commodities markets. And silver's not the only one, you guys. There's quite a few commodities that are really good. Even wheat, like wheat futures, even wheat is a very, very, very good investment in the big picture to invest in wheat contracts. And wheat futures, highly, highly, highly profitable and very, very, very good investment right now in the big picture. Wheat has been accumulating since 1970 as well. And you can see this huge, huge accumulation pattern. And when markets do this, you guys, when markets just look like they're dead and they're not doing anything for a really long time, pay attention. Pay attention when something's just going sideways and bouncing around and everybody thinks it looks dead and they've all given up on it and it looks kind of like Litecoin. Then you should probably buy it, okay? Because it's probably a really, really good investment and it's probably going to make you a lot of money. Let me find the Litecoin Bitfinex. There we go, Litecoin dollar. See, wheat is actually a very similar kind of accumulation. It's not the exact same, but in the big picture, when you see the sideways accumulation where stuff is bouncing around like that and just accumulating in the big picture and just getting thrown around, definitely pay attention, because what happens when this happens is you get these big just vertical breakouts in the market where the market just goes completely vertical. And NVIDIA is probably one of my favorite examples of this, just as a really solid example of this in the stock world. Let's pull up NVIDIA Corporation on NASDAQ. NVIDIA. There we go. Perfect. All right, cool. We'll remove all the drawing tools. Yeah, so if you look right here, you know, NVIDIA on the right and wheat futures over here on the left, these are the kind of accumulation patterns that you want to pay attention to, because when they take off, they go nuts. So yeah, I think silver is a really good investment, but I also think wheat and quite a few other commodities are very, very good investments. Operation shutdown, bullish. I agree. Markets are very bullish, and people that think otherwise should consider their position on that and reevaluate their analysis and be open-minded to buying the dip right now. What's the best wheat stock? I don't have any wheat stocks personally. I don't even own any wheat futures. But I do analysis on these things because the world markets have such a big impact on crypto. And once you've learned technical analysis, it doesn't matter if you're trading crypto or wheat or whatever, you can apply the same tools of technical analysis on those charts. So I study stuff like wheat and I study world markets to get better at technical analysis. Sometimes I'll buy like a stock, every once in a while. But I'm crypto like 99% of all of my investments because it makes more money and it doesn't take as long to play out. These stock charts take forever to play out. So, you know. But yeah, no, I don't have any like specific wheat stocks to recommend, but the wheat futures looks really good. And if maybe like Kellogg's cereal, like stuff like that would be really good stuff to buy if you want to invest in wheat or, food products, stuff like that. Buying cereal brands or Quaker, buying Quaker's oats. I don't know if they have a publicly traded stock, but stuff like that. So it's kind of like ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil is a really good oil company stock. So just go find a really good company that provides a lot of real world value, whether it's like Kellogg's cereal if you want to invest in wheat or whatever. But ExxonMobil is like a good oil stock that's associated with oil. So you can kind of think of it in the same way there. What do you think of holding Swiss francs as cash on hand? Swiss francs? Swiss francs is the only currency not pegged to any other currency. I have never heard of a Swiss francs. And that's on me. I probably should research this. I didn't know. I mean, I obviously know they have a currency in Switzerland, but I've never done any research into it. So I can't honestly give you an answer. I wish I could, but I that would be one area where I have to admit my honest ignorance on what this Swiss francs is. I don't know anything. Swiss francs, Swiss franc. I don't know exactly. I don't know how to pronounce it. And I don't know anything about the currency specifically. So wish I could offer my opinion, but I just don't know. Emotions are running high. Thank you for sharing. Oh, I already read that. All right, cool. Yeah, so you guys, looks like all the questions are up, and so it looks like we're mainly going to call it a day for today. And yeah, thank you guys, by the way, for tuning in. I am going to play my guitar because I got requested. But yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to tune into today's live stream. I'm bullish on crypto. I think the name of the game is to buy the dip. I believe that we're doing expanded flat corrections or ABC corrections on Dogecoin. Well, you can just see it in the charts. It's not a belief. So I'm bullish. I've been buying more. And I think we will turn around here for crypto. And I do believe we will have a strong first quarter of 2025 still, even though we had a bit of a spook over the past couple weeks. So that's my view on crypto. I think it's a good time to keep buying, you guys. Keep buying, keep accumulating. Don't believe the FUD. Don't listen to all the people that are trying to sell. We're still early on in the cycle. You can make a lot of money as long as you don't freak out, as long as you don't sell, as long as you keep buying, you're going to do good. But when FUD is really high and a lot of people are selling and a lot of people are scared, that should really signal to you that it's a good time to buy, not to sell. It should be the other way around. So, all right, cool. Let's play my guitar. Let's do a little bit of guitar playing for you guys today. So now we're going to play Here Comes the Moon again because it's only fitting. Plus, you guys, I really think Here Comes the Moon. So, makes perfect sense to sing Here Comes the Moon if it's really coming. Here Comes the Moon. One of my all-time favorite songs. Here we go. Here comes the moon, do-do-do-do. Here comes the moon, and I say, it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold crypto winter. Little darling, it feels like years since a bull market was here. Here comes the moon, do-do-do-do. Here comes the moon, and I say, it's alright. Little darling, the gains are returning to our portfolios. Little darling, it seems like years since I made 100x. Here comes the moon. Here comes the moon, and I say, it's alright. There you go, you guys. Here comes the moon. It's alright, I promise. It's been years since a bull market was here. Even though, you know, technically we did start a bull market on Bitcoin, but a lot of altcoins are still kind of waiting to fully start their bull market. Because you guys, we really just started this crypto pump, okay? That's what you need to understand. This thing just got started. Bitcoin always starts the bull markets, and then it looks like altcoins are just going to die forever, and then they all pump together, and it pumps even harder than the first pump when Bitcoin starts to break out. And there's always a few altcoins that follow Bitcoin in that first breakout. But you guys, the crypto bull market is here, and in the big picture, we are going to go nuts. Bitcoin is only just getting started, and a lot of these altcoins are going to go crazy. Litecoin, XRP, Dogecoin, Theta. You guys, just keep accumulating. You're going to get rich. Mark my words. If you hold through the cycle, you're going to get rich. So that's what I have to say. And yes, here comes the moon. I firmly believe that. So yeah, I got to go, you guys. I would keep playing guitar. My friend passed away a few weeks ago, so I'm going to go to his funeral. So yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you all. And what's up, Big Pappy? Good to see you, my friend. Not stacking, not bailing. That's what I like to hear. Good book for emotions is The Mental Game of Trading. I haven't read that one, but I maybe should. It sounds really good. All right, you guys. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. I love you. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you guys in future live streams and videos. And as always, stay profitable out there.